whatever you have been holding back on, whatever you are resisting, whatever you are worried about or have anxiety over, I just want to encourage you to realize that we don't have time to waste. Use your precious time and focus your energy on what you want to create.
Welcome to the Badass Manifester podcast, keeping you inspired with high vibe content, bringing you the best manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, interviews, and answering questions to help empower you to get out of your own way and take massive action to make magic your everyday normal. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, spiritual life and manifestation coach, helping women and spiritual entrepreneurs manifest more impact, influence, and income. It is my purpose and pleasure to help you wake up to the badass creator that you are. Let's do this.
Welcome back to the BAM Show. What's up, BAM fam? I've been playing around with that a little bit. My team, we call each other the BAM, Team BAM, Fam BAM team. Yeah, we're working that out. But welcome back. And do you guys hear that? That sweet, sweet, crisp sound of a new podcast microphone? That's right. This girl just got upgraded because I have the best team and podcast manager ever. Shout out Brett, who we literally were just talking about podcast equipment and how I wanted to up-level it. And the next thing I know, it arrives at my doorstep. So I have the best podcast manager ever. He's an amazing friend. And I'm so grateful because this sounds so much better than my first microphone. But like RIP to my first microphone. And I will cherish that microphone forever because it literally was the mic that got us to over 220,000 downloads. Like, I just want that to show you that it doesn't matter what you start with. You just got to start. So this past week was really hard for a lot of people with Kobe Bryant and that horrible tragedy that took place. I know I've lost sleep over it. I know that a lot of people did. And it just really got me thinking about a lot of different things. So on today's episode, I want to talk about legacy and what it means to leave a legacy behind and how to go all in with your life now. Start living your life from the moment of right now. When we're saying this cannot be accomplished, this cannot be done, then we're shortchanging ourselves. My brain, it cannot process failure. It will not process failure. Because if I have to sit there and face myself and tell myself you're a failure, I think that that is almost worse than dying. Kobe Bryant. I am blown away by that quote, number one, on so many levels, but also because this is a man that does not take no for an answer. This is a man that shows up no matter what. This is a man that refuses mediocrity and rises above any doubt, but also embraces his own doubt, but doesn't let it stop him. And look at what he's accomplished in his life. A legacy that he leaves behind through his words, through his incredible talent, through his children, and through so many other people's eyes, the way that we see him and the way that he has made us feel just by him being and living in his gifts. It's really powerful if you think about it like that. And you know, this week has really made me think of a lot of different things. Like, why do things like this happen? Why does such a tragic event have to happen? And unfortunately, I truly believe that the world just needs a perspective shift sometimes. And I really believe that we make these contracts with God, with the universe, before we come into this physical form, because this is not our normal form. This is not our natural way. Like, we're in this temporary human experience. And it's really important to remember that, because it brings me a little bit of comfort when I can remember that, you know, we're all source, we're all souls, and we're so much more than our bodies. Our body is like such a small percentage of who we actually are. And so we can't comprehend from our limited thinking and our limited minds like how something like this could happen. And unfortunately, it does. And unfortunately, yet fortunately, it brings all of us a new perspective on how precious life truly is. And it really gets you thinking around like, okay, well, what am I here to do? What am I here to leave behind? What message am I here to share? What gifts am I here to teach? And realizing that we just don't have any time to waste. We really don't. We don't have any time to waste. And if you're stuck in a job that you hate, if you're stuck in a relationship that's not healthy for you, if you're living a life that you are not totally loving, I just want you to consider that the time is going to go by and it's up to you as to how you truly want to live it. And I'm not suggesting you do something real drastic right now. I'm just suggesting that you realize that you do have a choice, even when you feel like you might not have a choice. We have to stop living out of our fear, out of our scarcity, out of our anxiety, and start living from our love, from our curiosity, from our playfulness, from our joy and our passion and our purpose, and realize that, man, all the stuff that weighs you down, it's just not relevant when something like that tragic happens. And I was watching the Grammys and I was watching Lizzo get her award, and she was like, man, earlier today, my problems were as big as the world. And the second I heard that news, it was like they completely disappeared and they became nothing. And that's the power of perspective. It's so freaking true. And it's really, really time for us to not have to have a tragedy happen for us to be able to get the perspective we need to make the changes that we want to make in our life, right? Like, he was such an inspiring person. And I think that he was almost chosen to be this perspective shift for the world because he's so inspiring. And I think he's a perfect example of like, man, like, I'm afraid of failure too, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop. And I think like his words and his mission and his power like really are echoing throughout, everybody's minds and hearts, because I think deep down we all know that we don't have the time to waste. And like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if tomorrow was your last day? What would you do if you could literally do anything? What would it be? What would it be? Like, really say it out loud right now. If you're driving alone in your car, write it down. Think about it. Meditate on it. And consider that passion that you're ignoring is a disservice to your highest self. And not only that, it's a disservice to the world, because that passion could be your legacy. And I want to talk about legacy for a second. Like, what is a legacy specifically? And I was looking up the definitions, and everyone has a little bit something different to say. But really, this is the one that struck me the most. What does it mean to leave a legacy? It means putting a stamp on the future and making a contribution to future generations, right? People want to leave a legacy because they want to feel like their life mattered. How will you know that your life mattered? How will you know that you've made that difference? What is that for you? Are you on track for doing that right now? And I don't think it has to be some big grandiose thing. It could be so small. It could be so simple. It could be kindness. It could be forgiveness. It could be love. It could be something that's not, on the world stage, because the world stage is really like realizing that you're the main character in your play and you're the most important person and the least important person in the entire world at the same time, all at the same time, right? And think about like, what do you want to be leaving behind? When people think about you, how do you want them to feel? because people will remember how you made them feel. I've definitely been thinking about this a lot in the last week and thinking about what is my legacy and what do I want my legacy to be and how do I want to be remembered. And as I was cleaning my house tonight, I was listening to Spotify, and my friend wrote this song a few years ago, and it's such a good song, and it's called Remember Me. And I'm listening to it and I'm singing and I'm like, holy shit, this is totally about Kobe Bryant. And I texted her and I was like, this is about him. She was like, whoa, it's really good. So I want to play a little bit of it for you guys right now. And I hope you like it. The link is in the show notes.
Do you have any faith? Do you believe it'll set you free? Yeah. I got this feeling that I'm shining. I know. I got this feeling that I'm shining. It's blinding. If you got love, give it out for free. You full it down, just so I'm out so you can see. Don't get caught up inside this make-believe. If there's enough for you, there's enough for me. Oh, I got this feeling that I'm shining. I know. I got this feeling that I'm shining. It's blinding, and I wanna know, will you remember me? Will you remember me?
And I just want to say this as my parting words to you today. Whatever you have been holding back on, whatever you are resisting, whatever you are worried about or have anxiety over, I just want to encourage you to realize that we don't have time to waste. And so use your precious time and focus your energy on what you want to create. Focus your energy on the life you want to live. Focus your energy on the people that you love. And I promise you, everything will work itself out, because all those little details, they always do. So right now, wherever you're at, let this be a reminder that you're the creator of your life. You're the co-creator of your reality. So do that. Co-create. Don't let it all come in and happen to you. Take your power back right now. Thank you so much for listening to the Badass Manifester podcast. I love manifesting Mondays with you, and there's so much more in store right here. The best way to manifest love is to give love. If you loved what you heard today, subscribe to the Badass Manifester podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know how much you dig the energy here. All of my social is linked up in the show notes, so screenshot this episode, tag me on Instagram, and let me be part of your real-time journey. For more info on me, feel free to go to my website, manifestwithash.com. Repeat after me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. Go get 'em.